and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Alrighty, folks, good morning and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, and boy, did I get over my cough and cold just in the nick of time. You do not want to go out right now and be like, yeah, people just look at you funny. All right, so we got a good show planned for you today, guys. We have a lot going on here. You can watch us live right now as well. Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. That's where we're broadcasting live. You can comment there as well on the program. But if you missed last week's show, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna break my arm padding here, but we're 2 weeks ahead of the curve. The stuff that we talked about 2 weeks ago for the last month, the stuff that we have discussed on the program and the Aftershock, 2 weeks later has come to pass. So I'm just saying it's not a crystal ball. It's not magic, guys. This is just common sense stuff. And the problem right now that everyone is having, all the anxiety that everyone's having, is based upon what's called a normalcy bias. With the whole coronavirus thing and working from home and everything changing. And this morning you hear in the news that we're talking about potential domestic travel bans. That meaning you can't move between states, for example. Or cities even. And so there's all this stuff, and it really just gives people anxiety. And the thing here is, guys, you got to be flexible. You have to be able to look at a situation and say, what we've done before is going to have to be modified. A great example of this is the church that I go to yesterday was talking about on Facebook how they were still going to have church service. And I don't know, maybe some churches have decided to have service, maybe some have not. I'm not passing judgment on any church that does or doesn't, but the governor was very clear in his press conference. If we have one case of community spread, any gathering over 250 people is not allowed. Well, I mean, maybe if you're a smaller church, you won't have 250 people there, but your larger churches most certainly will. The second thing is, if we get one more case of community spread, then schools are out for 8 weeks. This was not like he was very, very clear. It wasn't like hey, we're going to consider shutting schools down for 8 weeks. If we get one more case of community spread, that's what's going to happen. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and there's a lot of stuff related to the technology side of what's going on. So all we've been hearing about is, the doctors and the health side. And, we're going to dispel some things. Like, you've probably seen this meme going around on Facebook. It's not a meme, I guess. It's a thing about how to test yourself at home for coronavirus. If you can hold your breath for 10 seconds, you don't have coronavirus because it damages your lungs. And if you hold your breath and you have to cough while you're holding your breath, that could be a sign that you have coronavirus. And drinking hot liquids apparently kills the virus in your throat. Yeah, so that's fake too. Both of those things are very much not true. They sound very plausible. They're attributed to Stanford doctors or Taiwanese doctors or, whatever else, but it's not true. And so you're starting to see that when we say fake news or stuff like that, that is what that is. It's information that you read on Facebook that is honest to goodness not true, but it is so incredibly plausible that you think it could be true. So now we're in this time where you pretty much have to Google everything you read just to see if it's true, and then trust a second. So you almost need double confirmation. It's almost like you're a citizen journalist, right? Because back when I took journalism in college years and years and years ago, you had to have two sources before you ran with a story. Anonymous source in the White House is not enough. You need two sources. And that's to protect you from, putting out fake news. Yay, go figure. All right, so today on the program, if you missed last week's show, it was a really good one. So if you want to hear that one, you can pull that up in the archives. Last week, we told you how you can work from home for $3 a year. Yes, there's a service out there that was offering remote access to your work PC for an entire year, the first year for $3. And then after that, it was like $30 a year. Completely affordable, but $3. We implored you to have some supplies on hand. We explained that things were going to get a little weird. And it would be, you don't want to be that guy at Walmart getting stabbed with a wine bottle. We didn't give that example, but that really happened this week. Over a case of bottled water. Yes, they broke the wine bottle on the floor and stabbed the guy. Like, they didn't stab him with a wine bottle. That would be, wow, thrustworthy. Oh, a wine bottle. No, they broke it on the floor and stabbed him with it over a case of bottled water. Bottled water is not even insured. It's not like it's toilet paper or anything. Wow, bottled water. So we talked about that, last week on the program. That one's a little too late now. You're going to be at Walmart or Sam's anyway. We explained to you why you need to get a maintenance checkup as quickly as possible on your computers, guys. This is not the time to buy the certificate. This is the time to get the maintenance checkup done. And in the service center, let us physically check your computer out, please. I'm asking again, and I know that a lot of you are saying, Thor, I'm not going out. I don't want to do it. You know, in our service centers right now, every common contact surface, that's the keyboards on the display models, the front counter, the printer, you know, anything that any of my employees, all their keyboards, all the keyboards on the bench, your laptops when they come in the door, your laptops when they go out the door. There's a reason. I was practicing what we preached, guys, and I bought a couple of cases of Lysol and a couple of cases of Clorox wipes 4 weeks ago so that my shop could maintain cleanliness when these things became hard to find. That's what you're getting at Schrock right now. We have full protective gear for our employees. We have not donned it yet, unlike the gentleman at the Buc-ee's gas station this morning when I got my coffee. Our employees are not wearing those useless surgical masks. He was wearing a surgical mask. Now, here's the thing. Any of you who've had surgery know what a surgical mask looks like. So they tell you you don't need to wear a mask. A surgical mask is intended to stop your cough from getting into a patient. It doesn't stop other people's coughs from getting into your mouth. It's a surgical mask, which is different than an N95 mask, or even better, different than a respirator mask. We have respirator masks for our people if we need them. I don't think we're going to need them. I certainly hope we won't need them, but we have them. We have goggles for our people, for heaven's sake, in case we need them. So we have a full plan in place. Schrock Innovations is a safe place that you can bring your computer in and trust that we are doing everything in our power to keep our people safe and to keep you safe. With that said, I'm going to throw something out there this morning, guys, that's really important. We are a small business. We employ 15 people. We're responsible for 15 families in the Omaha metro area, basically. We don't know 2 days from now, 4 days from now, 8 days from now, if we will be open. Now, here's the thing. This is my company. As long as I can get into one of the service centers, I will be in one of the service centers until someone comes down and says you are prohibited from traveling inside the city limits. Or, you know, if I have to go between Lincoln and Omaha, for example. Thankfully, our Des Moines store isn't open yet, so we don't have to worry about that chapter in our pandemic preparedness plan at this point. But a lot of people, here's what we're seeing in the service centers right now. People are dropping off computers to get them maintenanced and cleaned. They're doing what I'm asking them to do, but they are not picking them back up again. Please come pick up your computers. We don't have number one, we don't have unlimited storage space. Number two, we need the cash flow right now. And I'm just going to put this out there because a lot of businesses, they don't want to talk about this or they don't want to say it. You know, we're fine right now because 2 weeks ago, we talked to our SBA lenders and said, just in case something really weird happens, we would like to start the process of opening out a line of credit just to make sure that we are capitalized and able to continue fulfilling orders for our customers should things get a little wonky. So we can buy parts. As you've heard me say week after week after week, parts are getting hard to find. So we bought a lot of parts. As a result, now what we're doing is what we're bumping up against is the physical build time for my employees. You know, we have employees in the service center. We're authorizing overtime right now because we can't build things fast enough. It's like we're Tesla all of a sudden. We have all these car parts laying around and we just can't put them together quick enough. So, you know, literally Brian from the Omaha Service Center was coming over to Papillion on his day off and helping out and filling in to get your computers built. We're offering free expedited builds on every single computer that's ordered right now. That's a $50 value that we normally upcharge for because it means we pay for rush shipping. It means we pay, in some cases, overtime hours to get those computers built as quickly as possible. We are doing all of those things anyway. Because imagine what happens if you have a domestic travel ban. What is going to ship to you? Walmart will get their orders because Walmart, as we saw the CEO of Walmart with the president. You know, we saw people with the president talking about how they're going to keep things going, they're going to keep things moving. Well, the big players are going to be fine. they're going to keep moving. It's the small businesses that are going to have in some cases, devastating challenge. When you hear about the payroll tax credit, oh, that won't help anybody. That's a line of, I can't say it on the radio, because I've got a $6,000 payroll tax payment coming due on Friday for my Omaha staff. That's money that just goes to the federal government. If you can, I'm not asking for a free ride. I'm saying right now might not be the best time for me to send $6,000 to the federal government when I could use it to buy products. I could use it to pay additional paychecks for my people, to keep them employed so that they have a sense of normalcy in their lives. So they have one thing in their life right now that's normal. The plan that it's coming, guys. It's going to happen. It's got to happen because no one's going to be working, right? So the payroll tax credit is a rearward looking. That's payroll taxes for the previous pay period that you're paying now. So anyway, the long and the short of it here is take a moment today. If you're going out and about and you're going to go do something, my wife went over to Fat Brain Toys right next door to the Omaha Service Center at 168th and Burke. It was a ghost town in there. And, we homeschool. And so everyone is asking my wife right now, what should I do with my kids? What am I going to do for school? How do you homeschool? I don't understand how to do this. And she's been trying to help people and tell them, listen, don't freak out. This is the thing, like homeschooling parents know, if you don't finish the end of the book on time, it's not a big deal. You'll get there. Just, it's more important that they understand what they're doing. And it's more important that the kids don't have anxiety right now. So back off on the school a little bit. Go buy a game. Go to Fat Brain and buy a game. Go to go online. If you go to a restaurant a lot, I go to First Watch almost every morning to eat my breakfast and work on my computer uninterrupted. No staff, no kids, no people, just me and my computer to get something done. And I'm going to stop doing that for a little bit because that's what we're supposed to do, right? I'm still going to go out and buy a First Watch gift card because I know I'm going to use it. Buy the gift card. Help these companies out. I'm going to go to 20 after every week. Sorry, production note. So take a moment to help out a small business today. So with that said, there are certain things that are coming down the pipeline right now. As I mentioned earlier in the program, we are 2 weeks ahead on everything right now. Okay, what's happening? What should you be looking at 2 weeks from now? Guess what happens in 2 weeks? Windows 10 version 2004 will be deployed. Maybe they'll delay it because of coronavirus. Maybe not, because it doesn't really matter, because it's already done. It's already baked. It's already ready to fire out the cannon. So your computer is going to get a force upgrade to a new version of Windows 10 in 2 weeks from now, when we could have domestic travel bans in place. What are you going to do when you're working from home and your computer blows up because of an update? Have you thought about how secure your computer is? You're going to be working from home so that you don't spread viruses between yourselves at work. Does your computer have internet, or are you relying on your PC Cillin or your Trend Micro or what's that garbage, WebRoot? Are you relying on some piece of junk antivirus software to keep your computer safe? Because when you connect to your computer at work, you are passing viruses potentially from your computer to that computer. Is your wireless router more than 5 years old? Because if you try to do teleconferencing and VPN work from home on a 5 or 6 year old wireless router, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. It's not going to be fun. Right now, we have customers coming into the service center to buy new computers because they're realizing finally that there are some things that computers are better than iPads for. You can't work from home from your iPad. Well, you can, but it's certainly not pleasant. It's not easy. They're finding out that, I'm used to having 3 or 4 monitors at work. I have one little tiny square one at home. That's not good enough. So we've had people come in and want to buy monitors. They've come in and they want to buy computers, which is why we are accelerating our ordering, getting parts here as fast as we can. And I'm not talking about as fast as we can, like ship them and wait 5 days. I'm saying, we're 2-daying everything right now because we just don't know 2 days from now what the reality on the ground is going to be. So I'd rather have the parts in my warehouse and be able to deliver them to you. So if you have a computer outstanding from Schrock Innovations right now, you are included in this group. All of your parts are either in the service center or on the way to the service center and will be there within 2 days. Once the parts arrive, we will build them just as quickly as possible and get these computers into your hands. So if you need a new computer, I ask you, please choose a local business, choose Schrock Innovations right now, because we are trying to do everything that we can do to make sure that, number one, we meet all of your technology needs, not just right now, but we have a plan for 2 weeks from now too, where if we're taking proper care and doing things right, I am so thankful that I am in flyover country where we have some common sense. Stuff that is unpleasant but needs to be done is getting done. There's common sense. So it's not like New York where people are getting stabbed with wine bottles. No one's getting stabbed with wine bottles in Omaha or Lincoln or Des Moines. That's not happening because we have common sense. I was at Michael's doing a pickup order for my wife because, you're going to craft if you're stuck at home, right? So get your Michael's order in. And their tablet thing wasn't working, and people behind me in line were freaking out and getting mad. And I'm trying to leave a respectful distance to the person in front of me, and the people behind me are literally bumping up against me. I mean, come on, people, just stand back a little bit, right? And they're yelling at the lady with the tablet. It's not her fault the system's not working. Everyone is just so keyed up right now. So everybody give everyone around you a little bit of grace, a little bit of cushion, and then let's get this done. So with that said, guys, make sure we send out emails to people who previously purchased Safe Upgrade. Safe Upgrade is the product that we make that installs these automatic updates for you. This is a product that you don't have to leave your house to buy. It's like it was made for this. It's a do-it-yourself at-home upgrade product. You can get it on our website, SchrockInnovations.com. Click on Shop and Specials, and you can pick up a copy of that for $50. And it will help you through this upgrade that's coming in 2 weeks. 888-250-2091. We're going to take our first break in the program. But coming up on the show today, a hospital in the middle of all of this gets hit with a cyber attack and taken offline. They're a COVID-19 testing hospital too, so that's just dandy. Bad guys are stepping up coronavirus email campaigns trying to infect your computers with viruses in anticipation of you working from home. They don't want your computer, they want your corporate network, and you're the weak link. The real absolute need to get your PC checked out now while you still can, guys. Please get this done. Also, doctors aren't the only ones fighting coronaviruses. Coming up on the program today, a supercomputer just cured, these super bugs you hear about at the hospital, the antibiotic-resistant infections? A supercomputer just cured one of those. Who do you think is next on the list? All right, Doyle, Paul, and Tom, stay on the line. Your calls are coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs. And all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases, even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Keeping a level head and a calm demeanor because this too shall pass. We will get through this, And on the other side, you better watch out, because nothing is more fierce than an American consumer who's been restricted from consuming. I mean, you gotta know, what's the first thing? Like, hey, Billy, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get out? You know? All right. Number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. Paul, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This?
Yes, sir. This is Paul, and I just got a comment. I'm an over-the-road truck driver.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for doing that.
And this thing that they're going to talk about, limiting domestic travel, that ain't going to work for the trucking industry or the shipping industry. I mean, they really going to put a scare in people now? If they thought they've had a run on grocery stores before, watch out. They're going to have a run on everything if this gets out and they talk about domestic travel and shutting down everything.
You know,
and also another comment, this coronavirus, I used to farm. This has been around for years. I can remember vaccinating livestock 20 years ago for coronavirus. This is nothing new.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just a ploy.
Yeah, thank you for the call, Paul. I understand your concerns about the trucking industry there, because, you know, the thing you got to remember here too is there's two ways you can do this. You know, you can just say, no, it's not going to happen, and then everything gets shut down and people go without food and there's riots in the streets. Nobody wants that, obviously. So what we're going to do instead of, I would assume that they're going to do it smart. They're going to say they're going to start with non-essential travel. You don't snap a rubber band on something like this. First, you ban foreign travel. Then you ratchet it up a little bit. Then you add a couple more countries to it. Then you start floating the travel in that we might have to limit some domestic travel between hotspots, you see. And then as more hotspots pop up, and then everything becomes a hotspot, like what happened in Italy. Right now, they're locked in their homes. That's just how it goes. Now, the thing is, we're trying to get ahead of it here. That's why we're doing everything like this. That's why the Apple Store, Alfonso, my senior coder, my senior developer, his iPhone stopped working. He went to the Apple Store, and he said it was the most surreal experience. This was Friday. He went to the Apple Store. All the appointments were open for the entire afternoon. He was able to get whatever appointment. Usually you have to wait till the next day. And then when he went to Village Point to go to the Apple Store, he parked in front of the door. That never happens. And then he went in there. But guess what? We've been talking about supply chains for the last 2 weeks, guys. Apple doesn't have parts. They couldn't fix his phone. So they gave him a loaner. And then yesterday, they announced that Apple has all stores are closing until further notice. They're all closed. As of today, they're all closed. So you can't go to the Apple Store and get your phone fixed. So if your iPhone breaks now, the online place is still open, which of course requires shipping, which of course requires trucking, which of course requires cross-state transportation. So I cannot imagine that they're going to shut down everything. I don't think we're going to go into a militarized environment. Now, as for the coronavirus, the common cold is a coronavirus. So he's absolutely right. Coronavirus has been around forever, but there's a reason they're calling this one a novel coronavirus. It's different. And there are two camps of people on this. There are the camps of people who say, this is not a big deal. We're way overreacting. This is stupid. And then there's another camp of people that say, you know, I'm scared to death right now. Thanks for that. And so the problem here is if we do everything right, and we eliminate community spread, and all these shutdowns are effective, you know what's going to happen? Almost nothing. You're not going to see stories like you're seeing out of Italy, where we're having to choose which patients. Italy is literally, from the media reports that I'm reading, Italy is bypassing care on people over 65 to spend their resources on people who are younger and are more likely to survive. If you have a heart attack right now in Italy, there's nowhere to go, because the hospitals are completely overwhelmed to the point of absolute exhaustion. So what we're trying to do when you hear about these closures and everything, they're trying to flatten this curve. So in other words, the number of cases is not going to change. The number of people who are going to get infected will always stay the same. No matter how much social distancing we do, eventually those who are going to get it are going to get it. That's just the way it's going to go. But most people don't have a problem. Most people get over this. And the people who do have a problem, the one thing we need to prevent is all of those people going to the hospital at the same time. That's all you got to prevent. So that's what we're trying to prevent. So I don't know that we need to freak out about this and say, wow, they're going to shut down my industry or my trucking or, the Walmart or something. On the other hand, from a local business perspective, the level of anxiety that you heard in Paul's voice is very real for local businesses. Local businesses are usually small enterprises that are family owned. Therefore, they are usually undercapitalized. They are usually kind of hand to mouth. And you throw a 2, 3, 4 week interruption in their business cycle, and all of a sudden you're going to have a real big problem, which is, again, why I'm asking you guys to please, the stuff that you're going to buy anyway, if you're going to get Safe Upgrade anyway, to get this update, we're going to talk about it in the next segment. Please take a moment to purchase it this weekend. Go to SchrockInnovations.com, click on Shop and Specials, and add this to your cart. While you're there, you can pick up a maintenance checkup certificate. The same thing I was saying with restaurants. Go ahead. I'm going to buy some gift certificates for local restaurants that I can use later so that they get the cash flow from that so they can keep paying their people right now, and I can come eat some delicious food later. So same thing, if you want to get a maintenance checkup certificate on the website, maybe you just don't plan on coming in for a maintenance checkup right now. They're on sale for almost half off. So you can add that to your cart while you're there on the Schrock Innovations website. You'll be doing us a favor and helping us service those people who actually really need it to do their jobs or to keep the wheels in their family moving. 888-250-2091. When we come back from the break, hospital that gets hit with coronavirus while they're trying to save lives, and bad guys are sending emails to your computer trying to infect you with information about the coronavirus. Tom, Dale, and Doyle, stay on the line. Your call's coming up after the break on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it. Schrock Innovations has spent nearly 2 decades working to make your technology life easier, and the all-new SchrockInnovations.com is no exception. Now you can order new modular computers and solid-state laptops directly from our website, secure your computer with our virus-free guaranteed semantic endpoint software, find innovative new technologies like our modular storage devices, and get free help and tips. Take a look at the special section to find sales on one-of-a-kind items, display models, refurbished units, and our latest special offers. Swing by the Compute This page to watch TV segments and archived radio shows, or even get one-on-one help through the Schrock Desk. As always, we respect your privacy, so we secure our website with the latest encryption technology and only the most secure payment methods. You can pick up your purchases at any of our 3 service centers or have them shipped directly to your door. The new SchrockInnovations.com makes technology simple. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 187. Recently, you may have received a phone call from someone claiming to be from Microsoft or had a message pop up on your screen telling you that your computer was infected. Do not respond to these calls or messages. They're always a scam. Microsoft will never call you about your computer. Here's how the scam actually shakes out. You get the phone call that your computer's infected. The scammers hit you with some mumbo jumbo about an infected IP address. They'll ask your permission to connect and help you fix it. Once they're in your computer, they do a bunch of fake scans that detect a lot of problems that really aren't there. You see the scan results and figure your computer's in trouble. Next, the scammers will demand up to $400 to clean up the computer and set you up with a lifetime protection. Don't fall for the scam. Keep good security software installed, like Endpoint and Secure Updater, so when things like this do happen, you know you are covered. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Karen McHugh. Consumers stocking up on everything from food to toilet paper because of coronavirus are putting a strain on retailers nationwide, forcing those 24/7 operations to curtail their hours so employees have time to restock.
Publix, a popular store in Florida and down south. Giant, a big one in mid-Atlantic states. Walmart, Whole Foods, Wayman's, Harris Teeter, H-E-B. All these stores adjusting their hours and taking them the other way.
Fox's Rob Schmidt in New York. The House overwhelmingly passed an emergency funding measure to combat the coronavirus. Only 40 members voted against it. One of them, Florida GOP Representative Michael Waltz. He tells Fox why.
I think there were some things in there that sounded good, but we have to be very careful about unintended consequences here. And the devil is really in the details. For example, it didn't apply to businesses that have over 500 employees.
The Senate's expected to pass the bill this week. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the News Radio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
We could see a few slick spots out there this morning as temperatures have dropped down below freezing. Otherwise, expect mostly cloudy skies to hang around today with high temperatures a bit warmer, topping out in the lower 40s. We are looking at highs on Monday in the upper 40s with a chance for a spotty shower. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All righty, folks. Welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. I think I just realized why we don't have any Facebook viewers. It's on my personal Facebook stream. Facebook changed their live stream profile thing. And so, I'm streaming right now on my personal stream. That's just lovely. So for those of you who are having trouble finding the Facebook feed right now, I will post it to the Schrock Innovations page here shortly after the program. 888-250-2091. It was only open to my personal friends as well. So that was only open to personal friends. So that's why I was like, why do we only have 2, 3, 5 viewers right now? And they're all my family members and my personal friends on Facebook. What's going on here? So I just switched it to live for the public, and now it's starting to go up a little bit. So that explains a lot. So yeah, you missed a whole bunch of show, but we'll get back around to it. All right. So first off, Czech hospital is getting hit with a ransomware attack right now in the middle of the coronavirus situation. They are a COVID-19 testing hospital, and they are completely offline. They're rerouting patients to other hospitals. No word yet on whether or not their testing capability has been interrupted by the cyber attack, but it goes to show you that state actors and the bad guys are not taking the day off. They're not working from home, if you will. They are doing what they do, and they're attacking because right now, of course, money is flowing to pockets. And as a result, you're going to see all kinds of people that are doing all kinds of nasty things because they're going to get a piece of that money right now. The hospital will say, we can't afford to be down right now, just pay the ransom, and they'll do it. So because people's lives are hanging in the balance. So it's awful. It's truly awful. Also, keep an eye on your email box for emails referencing coronavirus, for example. Those emails, as they come into your inbox, they're going to try to trick you to click on these links. And these are called fileless malware attacks. We talked about this last week. A fileless malware attack, if I can get you to click on a link in an email to take you to a web page, that can be enough to attack and infect your computer. That's one of the reasons why Secure Updater is important, keeping all that third-party software up to date. That's one of the reasons why it's important to have good antivirus like Semantic Endpoint protecting your computer from viruses and malware, especially if you're going to work from home. All right, let's jump into these phones here. Tom, thanks for being patient with us. How can I help you on ComputeThis today?
Well, I'm trying to help out my father-in-law.
Okay.
He accidentally deleted a string of text messages from his iPhone.
Oh, no.
And he, of course, does not have it set up where he's got it backed up to the cloud through his daily backups. I don't have any idea how to help him from here, and didn't know if it's even possible to recover them.
Gotcha. Oh, boy. Well, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be possible to recover the text messages unless, of course, those text messages were synchronized with the cloud, which it sounds like they were not. If he has a cloud account, that they may be synchronized there. But if he doesn't, unfortunately, the way Apple does their stuff, it's so secure now that you can't recover deleted things. Like Apple assumes if you've deleted it for a reason, and it's unrecoverable, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call, Tom. I appreciate you staying on the line there as well. All right, Dale, you're next up on the program. How can I help you on ComputeThis?
Hi. Hello?
Yep, I'm here with you. How can I help you
Okay.
today?
I'll just make a couple comments. First, one of them, kind of a pet peeve of mine, is, here in rural Nebraska where I live, unless you farm, you can't really work from home. Most people here don't sit behind a computer all day. So.
Yeah.
And the other comment is the Wuhan virus, like most other stuff made in communist China, i.e. junk, maybe it won't last long.
I've seen that meme. It's made in China. It's not going to last long.
Anyway, I'm retired. And, when I grew up, everything was made here in America, and I hope this is really a wake-up call to get stuff back over here. I mean, this is ridiculous, hearing, the medical, what is it, 86% of our antibiotics are made in China. The technology, I'm retired from the electronics field.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started, everything was made here in the United States. Japan's kind of got their foot in the door for a while. And, to begin with, some of their stuff was junk, and then it got to be really high, good products and stuff. But anyway, my computer question is, I am fed up with this constant change of technology all the time, just like you with Facebook. It's an uphill battle all the time. You learn it, and a week later you got to relearn it, and a week later you got to relearn it. I am fed up with Windows. I hope, the American people stand up to this and put their foot down and stop buying these products where we got to depend on sport. My question is there any systems out there right now, Linux or something? I'm not familiar with them very much. I was years ago. Is there anything that can be a standalone system like the way things used to be?
Oh, that's a great question. And part of the reason that some of the standalone systems are not available anymore is because all of the updates that are required to make the software run are downloaded from the internet. So we've gone from an era where you had to make it right the first time because you were going to put it on a disk and send it out to people. We've gone from that era to an era now where we can kind of sort of make a beta and then send it out with limited testing. And if there's a bug, we can fix it on the fly because we can update it live on the internet, and everyone has an internet connection. So unfortunately now when you go to buy a computer, if you want to use the Adobe products, for example, like all of them, any of them, they're all web-based now. It's all, you have to be signed into your Adobe account. And if you go without an internet connection for more than 30 days, you have to sign into your Adobe account. So they're all a bit of a challenge to go that way. So unfortunately, there isn't really a system or a platform anymore that's completely standalone. In fact, we're going the opposite direction. Chromebooks, everyone's like, well, get a Chromebook. That doesn't get infected. And you can't, now Google's got a, docs offline thing because the biggest problem with a Chromebook is you couldn't do anything with the Chromebook if you weren't connected to the internet because you can't install any programs at all on it. That was a problem. Everyone said go to an Apple because they're better, they're easier to use, and they don't get viruses. Well, now they get viruses, and now they change just as often as a PC does. Go to Linux, right? Linux is great. Unfortunately, Linux is not exactly designed for the average consumer. Every Linux guy on the planet will argue that it is. But when my techs are coming to work, my technicians are coming to work and saying, ooh, I played around with a new Linux distribution yesterday, and it was really fun. I spent like my Saturday afternoon doing it. That's them. The average consumer doesn't want to spend their Saturday afternoon playing around with a Linux distribution. You just want to get on your computer and check your Facebook, do your videos, get your stuff done, and then get out. That's what you want to do. So that's what Windows does. Now, one of the things that's happening with Windows right now is every 6 months you get a new version of Windows 10. This has been going on since Windows 10 came out. So the version of Windows 10 that you got in 2015 is different. Yes, it's been that long. Is different than the version of Windows 10 that is out now. Every 6 months you get a new one. So the version numbers we talk about, the version that's coming out is version 2004. So version 2004. The 20 means 2020. The 04 is the month. So it's coming out in April of 20. Well, this is March. 2 weeks from now will be April. So 2 weeks from now, you're going to get an update potentially to your computer that is going to not update your operating system. It's not tweaking it. This isn't a patch. This is an upgrade. This is like back in the day when you went from Windows 95 to Windows 98 to Windows 2000 to Windows Millennium. That's what this is. So when you're going to install that on your computer, it's going to come down automatically over the internet. It's going to save to your hard drive, and then it's going to install. This is the big update, the one that takes your computer down for like 30, 40 minutes if you don't have a solid state hard drive. It's the big one. So 20% of the time, under best circumstances, these updates blow up your stuff. You reboot the computer and it won't boot. You reboot the computer and your data's gone. You reboot the computer and all your settings are changed and you can't find anything. Something isn't right, and you have a bad hard drive. You reboot the computer and it doesn't reboot. Or worse yet, the update continually tries to install over and over and over. So every time you restart your computer, it takes 30 or 40 minutes for it to figure out it can't install the update. That's why we created the Safe Upgrade product. People got mad at Microsoft, just like Don. They were like, I'm fed up with it. And they come into our service centers because their computer's not working and they need their computer. And, we're really the only target for them to yell at. They're not mad at us. They're mad at Microsoft over it. They're mad at the situation. But, hey, we're an abuse sponge, so we'll take it. And so, we get yelled at. So we finally said, we got to do something to help assuage, because it seems to be happening to the same people over and over and over again. The same 20%. So what can we do to help make this better? Why is it that when we do this on our bench, it's successful every time, and when it's done automatically at home, 20% of the time it fails? Why is that? What are we doing differently on the bench? We're following best practices. We're testing your hardware. We're making sure that your other patches are installed before we do the update. We're making sure you don't have any ancient, outdated software that needs to be updated. We're making sure you don't have any viruses or malware. We're making sure that your computer is physically available and working. That's the difference, guys. So what if we created a program, called it Safe Upgrade, that would do these things for you automatically? So you don't have to do it. You don't have to bring it into the shop, which is really flippin' convenient right now. Tell you what, you don't have to come out. You don't have to go anywhere. Yes, sometimes people have trouble with the Safe Upgrade product. Yes, it's not 100%. We call it Safe Upgrade, not Sure Upgrade. So if there's a problem with your computer's hardware that's not going to allow the update to install without some cataclysmic problem, it's not just going to force it through and say, oh, hope for the best. That's what Microsoft does. That's why 20% fail. We stop and we tell you, you need to see a technician. There's a problem here. We don't bother you with what the problem is. Either way, you're going to need to see a technician, right? So is that not better than just having your computer blow up and having all kinds of problems and then going to see a technician? So you can take a look at Safe Upgrade. It's on our page at SchrockInnovations.com. On our website, you click on Shop and Specials, the top left corner, and you can pick up a copy of Safe Upgrade. Safe Upgrade is $50. It's good just for each computer. So you need one copy for each computer you have. So if you're going to upgrade multiple ones, you need one for each computer. This is a great program, number one, because it gives you a warranty on the install. If you run Safe Upgrade and it installs the installation and something blows up, we fix it for free. So that's huge. You can avoid a potential $200 repair bill. That's huge. The second thing is, right now, the last update that came out went really smooth, and a lot of people said, finally, they got their stuff figured out. The last update, guys, the 1909 update that came out in 2019, September 1909, that update was tiny. It laid all the groundwork for update 2004 that's coming in 2 weeks. That's the big dog. That's the one that's going to cause people trouble. That's the one that's going to change the way your icons look to reduce your cognitive load. Because, we could all use some cognitive load reduction right now, right? Though we're going to change everything on your computer to reduce your cognitive load. I'm sure it'll be great. So pick up a copy of Safe Upgrade for each computer you plan on updating. Let us help you do that. If you're planning on, I know there's almost 1,000 of you out there that buy this every single time that we sell it. Please take a moment to go to our website at SchrockInnovations.com. If you're one of those people, then you're going to get it. Please take a moment to do that today. It would help us out immensely. We're still operating at full capacity. We're still paying all of our people. We still have more work to do than we know what to do with. And we're doing it all very safely, as safe as we can, in a very sanitary manner. We want to keep doing that, but we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to keep doing that as circumstances on the ground change, not at the speed that we're doing it now. So that's the problem, right? Everything is based on people. For every job where someone can sit behind a computer from home, somebody on the ground has to be doing something. If you're the IT guy fixing the IT network for your company, right now you're really busy. If you're the salesperson going and meeting with individual people to sell stuff, not so busy. Can't really do that from home. You could make calls, I suppose, but who's going to take your calls if everyone's at home? All right. Got to take a quick break. 888-250-2091. When we come back, the aftershock is something you're going to want to hear today, guys. So the aftershock, we're going to talk about all the coronavirus craziness that we can't talk about on the air, all the stuff that we're seeing. Apple stores are closing. Nike closed all their stores today, just this morning. I heard news this morning that they're considering a federal travel ban for inside the United States of some sort if it's necessary. They're putting the plan together for that right now. Also, all computers at Schrock right now are getting a free expedite. So if you buy a new computer at Schrock Innovations, in fact, we're trying to order the parts ahead a little bit. We're trying to anticipate what people are going to be buying, so we already have them on the way, but 5 business days or less get you the computer built. We're shooting for 2, but we're getting physically limited by the number of hands we can put on tech right now because the demand for computer-related services is going through the roof. Please help us out. Check out Safe Upgrade. Pick up your maintenance certificates. Bring your computer in for a maintenance checkup, people. We need to see it. We need to check it and make sure it's good. We need to blow the dust and gunk out of it, check the capacitors, test the power supply, make sure that hard drive, not only is it testing 100%, Drive Advisor is a great tool. It tells you if your hard drive is 100% healthy in its smart status. Drive Advisor does not test your solid state speed, which is a leading indicator of failure in a solid state. We don't test the speed because we would destroy your hard drive by testing its speed. It's like saying, guy might have a heart attack. Let's put him on a treadmill and run him a couple miles and see if he keels over. You don't want to do that. So we don't do that, but we can test it in the shop in a very concise way, just a short test. And once every 6 months isn't going to blow up your hard drive. Every day would. So please get in for the maintenance checkups. And please, if you have computers in the service center, pick up your computers, people. It's really important. All right, Doyle and Greg, stay on the line. Your calls coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. Some people like desktops for their power and upgradability, but nothing rivals a laptop for computing on the go. But why should you have to sacrifice performance for portability? The innovators at Schrock want our customers to have it all. So we created a new kind of laptop, the solid-state laptop from Schrock Innovations. Solid-state laptops are built using the same frame and mainboards as regular laptops, but we've removed half of the moving parts while more than doubling the computer's speed. The result? Laptops that boot to Windows in 6 seconds or less, respond instantly to your commands, and can survive drops that put most laptops into the data recovery lab. Starting at only $499, solid-state laptops give you speed, reliability, durability, and performance for the same price most people pay for a cheap disposable laptop. The next time you're looking for a laptop, check out the solid-state laptops at SchrockInnovations.com or visit any of our service centers. Simple, solid, fast technology is what we do at Schrock. And now Compute This Pro tip number 373. Everyone knows we're supposed to back up our computers and then check those backups periodically to make sure they're working. So why don't most people do it? Lots of people have different ideas about what backing up means. Is it copying files to a flash drive? Is it using a fancy backup program? And how do you know it's working anyway? Windows makes backups easy through free software that's already on your computer. Open your control panels and click Update and Security. Select Backup and choose from all of the available options to get a regular, reliable checkup. You'll need something to back up to, like a Schrock modular storage device or some other backup hard drive. Backups usually run once a week, but you can always change the frequency. The best part is that if your backup ever fails, you'll see a notification in the lower right corner by your clock telling you something's up. Backing up your important data has never been easier. So take a moment to back up your computer today. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
All righty, guys. Last segment of the program. Welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. 3 locations to help you out with your computer needs. The original in Lincoln, 7501 South 15th Street, which is just a couple blocks south of Pine Lake on 14th. In Omaha, 168th and Burke, across the street from the closed Apple store and Best Buy. And also in Papillion, 84th and Highway 370, coming soon to Des Moines, actually. Our lease is negotiated. I just have to sign it. And I was a little busy on Friday, so I didn't get it printed and signed. But I will sign it on Monday, I promise, guys. So Des Moines Service Center coming this fall as well. All right, let's jump back into these phones. Doyle, thank you for your patience. How can I help you on Compute This today?
Well, I haven't used Office in my computer for a long time.
Okay.
I tried to find it the other day, and I could not find it anywhere.
Oh, you couldn't find the icon to launch, like Word, for example?
Yeah, Word.
Okay. So
I type it in the corner, and, I used to type it in.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Just type it in.
But all it comes up, it says Word app. It doesn't...
And what happens if you click on the Word app? Because the Word app is what you're looking for. That's Microsoft Word.
Okay. Maybe I've got it now.
There you go. Well, hey, I'm glad I could help, Doyle. You know, this happens in the service center sometimes too. Thank you for your call, Doyle. I appreciate it. This happens in the service center. One of my technicians is like, Thor, I can't get this thing to work. It just won't do it. And I walk up to it and I'm just like fresh eyes. And sometimes I'm a jerk about it. Like I'm going to lay my hand on it. And I go, oh, all right, try it now. And then it'll work. And they're like, what did you do? I'm like, I prayed on it, you know? And they're like, no, for real, what did you do? And I'm like, no, for real, I just prayed on it. That's all I did. And it worked. Yay. So no, it's one of those things, but sometimes a fresh set of eyes lets you see things in a new perspective. But yes, the word app is what you're looking for. Thanks for the call, Doyle. We got you in the drawing as well for that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Greg, welcome to the program. How can I help you on ComputeThis today?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No worries.
I was getting this notification about some update on my computer, update after hours, and I clicked on the update now, and it did whatever it did. But now it wants me to switch, and I believe that it's Microsoft wants to be my search engine maybe instead of Google. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so basically when you get these updates for your computer, a lot of times, especially if you're using the Edge browser, is it Edge that you're using? For your browser?
I don't know.
The blue E?
I always click on the Google icon to get to.
Okay.
And this up.
Yeah, Google Chrome doesn't automatically change your search engine away from Google. So that's something different happening there. The blue E, a lot of people experienced an issue with Edge because Microsoft put out a whole new version of Edge. It's now basically Chrome without Google spyware. Instead, it comes with Microsoft spyware. So it's great. But basically, when they released that new version, it reset all the defaults. So I noticed when I got the last time I had an update to my computer, my default web browser had been changed to Edge somehow. And so the next time you open Google Chrome, when you double click on your Chrome logo to open that up, it's going to automatically ask you, do you want Chrome to be your default browser? And if the answer is yes, you just click yes. And then it will change it to the default browser for you. Or worst case scenario, it'll open up the screen where the defaults are saved and you can make your changes there. Worst case scenario. All right, thanks for the call, Greg. I appreciate it. So a couple of last stories here. We talked a little bit about maintenance today on the show. For those of you who don't know what a maintenance checkup is, I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about it, but basically we test everything. We check everything. We find all the stupid little problems in your computer. Literally, we had a MacBook on our bench yesterday that the battery was smoking when we turned it on. And it was just in for a maintenance. So if you have a problem with your computer, like, when I push the power button, it kind of sort of catches on fire. Please mention that when you check in your computer and don't just check it in for a maintenance checkup and say, maybe if they just, blow the dust out of it, the fire won't catch so badly. Literally, like, it smelled like ozone acid smell, and we went to take the battery out and my guys were like, hey, that protective gear that you got just in case we need it for the corona thing, do you mind if we put that on? Because I'm really scared. I like my face and I'm really scared that this battery is going to like explode in my face. It was swollen and all kind of, and it was literally smoking. So we disconnected it real quick, and so one of my employees disconnected the battery and just left it there, and I said, guys, if that battery was smoking, disconnecting it doesn't really stop it from catching on fire. We should probably get it out of the laptop like now. That's a MacBook Pro. Get it out now. The guys were all around it like, don't bump it, don't bump it. It was like, operation all of a sudden, except with the MacBook. It was kind of funny. All right. So Microsoft is pushing out a new update in about 2 weeks. Please get your copies of Safe Upgrade, SchrockInnovations.com. Click on Shop and Specials, and you can pick up your copy there to make sure that you're ready for that update that's coming out. I know right now, for those of you who aren't working from home, your computer seems like the absolute lowest priority thing you can possibly imagine. I'm just saying that in a normal period, our service centers repair, on average, 25 to 40 computers a week. These are people who come in for issues with their computers. If we say this thing, whatever this thing is going to be, is going to last 4 weeks, and let's just say in that 4-week period, either I have staff members that can't come to work because they're not well. We have a policy right now, if anyone in your household has a fever, you can't come to work. So eventually somebody's going to get a fever somewhere, and I'm going to lose a person or two or three, and it's going to reduce our ability to turn things around, which is why we are trying to compress the demand now. We're trying to get everybody in now so that we can get you out tomorrow, or hopefully tomorrow, and then get your computers back to you so that you have a computer that's maintained and working properly, that's up to date and ready for whatever the world might throw at it over the next 4 weeks, so that you're not trying to schedule a free pickup and drop off when our guys show up in like hazmat gear and respirators to pick up your computer. Thank you, man. Have a great day. You know, just leave it on the porch. Can't have any contact with you. Today's winner, $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate just for calling the program is Tom. Congratulations. We're going to get you a phone call on Monday to get you that $25 Schrock gift certificate. Also, if you enjoyed the program today, I appreciate it. For those of you listening on Facebook, hi, family and friends. I appreciate you all joining me. Thanks for taking a look at the program. We appreciate it. Hope it was mildly entertaining for you. But we're going to be doing the Aftershock coming up next. The Aftershock will be on the facebook.com/Schrock Innovations page. And then we'll see you all again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This.